Hello, everyone. Welcome to another meeting, another podcast episode. If you are watching on YouTube or you're listening on the podcast, you can find out more about these meetings, getting involved, our online community, paid private mentoring with myself on the website, and it's www.acimwithkeith.com. So let's go to some quotes from A Course in Miracles. This is the one I really want us to look into today. It's from the manual and it's from question 24, paragraph 6. The emphasis of this course always remains the same. It is at this moment that complete salvation is offered you. And it is at this moment that you can accept it. This is still your one responsibility. Atonement might be equated with a total escape from the past and a total lack of interest in the future. Heaven is here. There's nowhere else. Heaven is now. There is no other time. No teaching that does not lead to this is of concern to God's teachers. It's a lot of contenders for this title, but it's one of the most important paragraphs in A Course in Miracles. The emphasis of this course is always the same. It's at this moment that complete salvation is offered you, and it's at this moment that you can accept it. Heaven is already here. Heaven is already now. The acceptance of this is still your one responsibility. So, when we look at a paragraph like this, we have crazy beliefs like, oh, I don't think I'll awaken in this lifetime. I think I'll awaken in another lifetime. Atonement might be equated with a total escape from the past and a total lack of interest in the future. Oh, I need to do a forgiveness formula because there's bad thoughts and feelings in my mind and I want to get rid of them so I can have a better next moment. Where's the total lack of interest in the future? Oh, I need to get rid of these thoughts in my mind now so I can find the holy place in the next moment when they're gone. Where's the lack of interest in the future? Oh, I'm having an ego attack. Holy Spirit, take it off me, take it off me, take it off me, so I can have a better next moment when it's gone. Where's the total lack of interest in the future? Oh, if I do my forgiveness practice, I'm going to awaken in a future moment. I'll be enlightened in a future moment. Where's the total lack of interest in the future? Oh, if I study A Course in Miracles and if I can just understand it well enough, then at a future moment, I'll be saved. Where's the total lack of interest in the future? So, what A Course in Miracles is saying is this is it. This is already wholeness. This is already unconditional love. This is already the real world now, because there's no other time here, because there's nowhere else. This is already it. It's done. It's done. It's here. It's now. And if you reject this moment, that's an illusion because there's only this moment. There's no other moment. Lesson eight. The one wholly true thought we can hold about the past is it's not here now. And when you think you're thinking about the past and the future, which are illusions because they're just thoughts, your mind's actually blank because it's not really thinking about anything because there's no past or future. You don't have one because you are heaven. You're not in heaven. You didn't leave heaven. You won't return to heaven. There's no one in heaven. You are heaven. Course in Miracles says heaven is a state of perfect oneness, nothing else without, and nothing else within. Well, you're already that, and it's already here. It's done. Course in Miracles stresses that the atonement is done. It's finished. It's over. You don't have to merit it. You don't have to achieve something in the next moment. You don't have to work towards a future moment. It's already here. And when it seems like you're rejecting this moment, when it seems like you have a grievance with this moment and you're striving for an imaginary future moment that will save you, that's illusion. And it's veiling from you that this is it. Wholeness is already here. Unconditional love is already here. The end of the tiny mad idea is already here. It's done. It's finished. It's done. It's here. There's nowhere else. It's now. There's no other time. It's here. It's everything here. Let's take another quote. Before we do, why don't I know that the atonement is finished? Why don't I know that the tiny mad idea has been corrected? Why don't I know that this is unconditional love? Because I think I am an imaginary self that stands apart from the wholeness, judging it, going, this is not heaven. This is not unconditional love. This is not done. This is not good enough. This is not heaven. I need to manipulate things. I need to chip away at this present moment. It's not cutting it. I need to put the groundwork in for a future moment when wholeness will be here. And that's delusion. There's no future moment. There's just now. That's the future are thoughts. You've never been in the past. You've only ever connected with thoughts about the past. You've never been in the future. You connect with thoughts about the future based on thoughts from the past. They're all thoughts. It's the ego's thought world. It's the private world where you've jumped into thoughts and you think they're true, and you're the imaginary one that's thinking them, and that none of this is wholeness. None of this is heaven. You have a grievance with it. That's not what you are, because you are the wholeness that is in everything and everyone already. Let's take another quote. This is lesson 71. The ego's plan for salvation centers around holding grievances. It maintains that if someone else spoke or acted differently, if some external circumstance or event were changed, you would be saved. Thus, the source of salvation is constantly perceived as outside yourself. When I awaken, when I do my forgiveness lessons, when I finish the workbook, when the body isn't sick, I will be saved in an imaginary future moment. When my husband comes back to me, when my kids are well, when they're successful, when my financial troubles are sorted out. Oh, that will bring me my salvation in a future moment. Not this one. No, no. Salvation? No. I reject this moment. I need a future moment that will save me. And that's delusion. But that's the ego's lie. It's seek and do not find. So the imaginary separate self, the self concept, this is its plan for salvation. Grievances with this moment and the seeking to escape it for a better future moment. So, thus, the source of salvation for the ego is constantly perceived as outside yourself. Each grievance you hold is a declaration and an assertion in which you believe that says, if this were different, I would be saved. The change of mind necessary for salvation is thus demanded of everyone and everything except yourself. So you wouldn't have to be a course student very long to know what the Holy Spirit's plan for salvation is, and it's forgiveness. That's it. So it turns out salvation cannot be found in the future. Until you have a total lack of interest in the future for your salvation, you cannot know it's already here. So it turns out salvation cannot be seeking for something that's not here, because there's just here. Salvation cannot be seeking for something that's not already here. Now, because there's only now. Everything else is just thoughts. You're just back in the ego's thought world, the matrix, made of concepts and thoughts and thinking you're thinking them. Imagining yourself a creature of time, made of thoughts. So it turns out salvation is very simple. Salvation is this moment allowed to be exactly as it is with no opposition to it. That's salvation. It's already here. Salvation is this moment unopposed. That's it. Forgiveness means oppose nothing, resist nothing, and you're home. That's all it means. Now, there is a big mess in your mind. It's a whole load of photographs the mind has taken of previous moments, which have nothing to do with this moment. This moment has nothing to do with any other moment. But the mind has taken a whole load of photographs, post-it notes, okay? Post-it notes, past learnings, and it tosses them into a big house of mirrors in your mind. And they are reflecting and reflecting and reflecting and reflecting off each other. And there's reflections of reflections of reflections of all these post-it notes, all these previous moments. And you put a big circle around that and you go, that's me. I'm doing that. Those are my thoughts. I'm thinking them thoughts. Those are my memories. They're not. There's no identity in any of that. Past isn't here. There's just a big bunch of post-it notes there. And those post-it notes, you stick them to yourself. I had this kind of a past. I've been unfairly treated. I have these needs. I have these wants. People shouldn't behave like that. People should be different. I deserve better. I'm terribly guilty. I hate myself. I hate everyone else. I am fearful. Post-it notes, concepts. That's what the mind is. It's all the past. The mind is only the past. There's no now in it. Appearing in the now, and all the post-it notes are the past. But we think that's what I am. So the Course says everyone makes an ego or a self for himself. He thinks he jumps out of the present moment, the now, jumps into the big hall of mirrors, dresses himself in the post-it notes that are reflecting around in there, tells himself what he is with post-it notes, and then looks out on the wholeness that's already here everywhere, appearing as everything, and still wholeness, and starts putting post-it notes on everyone else. You have a guilty past. I know what you're like from the past. I know I have to watch out for you. Yeah, you're the guilty one. You're much guiltier than I am. Okay. That's what the mind is. What we call the mind. What the Course calls the mind is pure awareness. Okay, so when we're talking about this mind, the one full of reflections, all the thoughts that happen all by themselves, just reflections of the past going on in there, trying to vomit onto the future and trying to see the future through the filter of the past, that mind, that's the wrong mind, which doesn't really exist. But that wrong mind, that hall of mirrors, that bunch of photographs that just keep reflecting, 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 those post-it notes going around like a tumble dryer, I call that me. Concepts. Course says everyone feels that he must solve the riddle of himself. What am I? Who am I? And salvation can be seen as nothing more than the escape from concepts. You cannot say what you are. You cannot think what you are. What you are cannot be bound by a concept. That's it. So everything you think you are, that's wrong. Because a thought can't say what you are. And everything you think your brother is a lie. Because a thought can't say what your brother is. Your salvation is that a concept can't say what you are. And this, your identity, which cannot be bound by a concept, must be everyone's, or it's fantasy. If your identity isn't shared, if it's not the identity of everyone you look on, it's fantasy. It's a spiritualized ego. It's a holier self concept, but it's still a self concept. So when you think you know what you are, an innocent victim, victimized past, a particularly good person, a particularly bad person, particularly holy person, particularly unholy person, that's the dream. You're in the matrix. You think the post-it notes are the truth. And you think that what the post-it note that you stick onto yourself, that what that says, that's true. That's me. See? Guilty. See? Inadequate. Fearful. But the minute you don't know what you are, that's the escape from concept. But only when this is shared. Only when what you are that no concept can say, only when that's shared, when the Holy Spirit is extended, the temple of the Holy Spirit is the relationship, well, that's salvation. And so, what you'll see a lot of students of A Course in Miracles fall into the spiritualized ego trap, and we've all been there, and you'll fall into it. I'm not saying this so you go judging people, but I am saying this so you recognize it. If you think you're something different than what everyone else already is, you're a spiritualized ego. Okay, you're still in the ego's thought world. You just got a new post-it note that goes, I'm better, I'm holier, I'm more advanced. Okay, you've got a new self-concept. It's fabulous. Your ego loves it. Um, yeah, that's the spiritualized ego. A new self-concept. So you'll hear people say, oh, I live in this wonderful place now in my mind. Okay, fabulous. You know, I've gone over the bridge in my mind. I'm in a different place than you guys. You wouldn't understand it. Those are thoughts. Those are thoughts. Something you visualize in your mind is a thought. Okay, it's a concept. See? So, one of the big traps you're going to notice for people and with yourself is that we imagine a spaced out place in our mind, which is like separate and special and holy, and there's light in it and it's fabulous. And we think this is what I am. This spacey place, this spaced out feeling, that's the truth of who I am. No, that's a place in your mind made of thoughts. That's more concepts. That's delusion. Spaced out place in your mind isn't salvation. It's not the holy place where thoughts can enter not. Because you've all these thoughts about where you are, and you're in this place in your mind, and it's fabulous. Those are thoughts. That's not the holy place where thoughts can enter not. It's just a spaced out place made of thoughts that you're calling holy and enlightened and fabulous and different than everyone else. Look where I am. No one else is here. So that's the spiritualized ego trap, which we've all fallen into. We will all fall into, but I want you to recognize it. Course in Miracles tells us nothing is more important than seeking the door and opening it into the holy place where thoughts can enter not. But you're not there until that holy place is shining as the truth of everyone already. You must, well, the Holy Spirit must be extended. Until the Holy Spirit is extended, until you share the identity that you are, that's not it. It's just a spaced out place that you think is enlightenment. Okay? That's a trap. Course in Miracles says, always remember that your identity is shared and its sharing is its reality. It's not real until it's everyone's reality. Until it's what everyone is, you're still in the post-its room where they're flying around. You've just got holy post-its. You're making up a holy spaced out place where you're visualizing this vastness and you're in it and no one else is and it's fabulous. No, no, no. It's sharing is its reality. So the Holy Spirit in my mind is going, don't mind what the House of Mirrors tells you you are. That's not true. Listen to what I tell you you are. Nothing can be said about it. You can only be it. You can't turn it into a concept. That's not it. You can only be it. And you cannot say what it is. You cannot think what it is. It is the holy place where thoughts can enter not. But this isn't real. It's a visualization in your mind. Okay? This isn't real until it's what everyone is already. Already. So if I have not jumped into the big tumble dryer full of post-it notes and dressed myself in them, okay? So I've steered clear of the post-it notes. They're still whirling there, but they're just thoughts. They don't mean anything at all. They get nothing to do with what I am, because what I am can't be said, can't be thought, can't be known. As soon as I go, I don't know what I am, that's being awake. As soon as you jump into the post-its room, go, this is the kind of person I am. This is the kind of person, this is the kind of my past I've had. This is the kind of future I need to have. Okay, you're asleep. That's the dream. That's it. You're in the ego's thought world, post-its world. Okay, so we exit the ego's post-its world. Nothing can be said about what I am. That mind, the insane one, frantic illusion made of post-it notes, that can't tell me what I am. So I don't know what I am. That's awake. But now, if I look out at all my brothers without post-it notes in front of them, they are all what I am already. I would require Thoughts, post-it notes. I would have to reach in to the tumble dryer full of post-it notes that are reflecting and going around and bouncing off each other. I'd have to reach in, grab out a handful, toss them out into the real world in front of the images that are here and go, I know what kind of person you are from the past. Because the post-it note tells me. See? So I'm looking at someone and there's post-it notes going across like subtitles. That's what he did last year. It was a terrible thing. People shouldn't do that. That's an awful thing. That's the kind of person he is. Okay, that's illusion. There's no others out there. There's only what you are everywhere. That's what's here in the now. What you are everywhere. That's what's here. It's all the same. There's no separation. There's no differences. That's the holy instant, which is now, which is already here, which is done, which is already unconditional love. What you are is what everyone is already. Only the post-it notes made you think differently. You veiled what you are that's unknowable and whole and indivisible. You veil that from yourself to jump into the post-it notes, dress yourself in them and say what kind of a separate self you are. And then you look at your brother and you use post-it notes to tell yourself what kind of self he is. And then one imaginary self that you think is you interacts with the other imaginary self as though this is real. It's not. It's delusion. It's dreaming. It's sleep. As you think you know with thoughts what you are and what the world is. But this is the real world. This is wholeness. This is indivisible. This is unconditional love already. Okay, but when you cover it in post-it notes, because you've covered yourself in post-it notes, you don't know that. You live in a world of self and other. You live in a world of past and future and good and bad and right and wrong and me and you, self and other, made of post-it notes. That's not what's here. It's not what's here. That's just what's going on in the hall of mirrors. But that's not reality. Thoughts aren't reality. Thoughts don't mean anything at all. I've no private thoughts, but it's only private thoughts of which I am aware. What I am, what you are, what can they mean? They don't exist and they mean nothing. Lesson 52. Oh, there's an appearance of thoughts. They are reflections. They are photographs of previous moments that are going around there in what we call the mind, which is just a big hall of mirrors. See? That doesn't mean anything. It's an illusion. It's just an appearance. So what? It's just thoughts. It's just reflections. It's just photographs of the past. There's no past. So that's there. So what? But what does it have to do with what I am and what my brother is? Nothing. So A Course in Miracles tells us in the holy instant, no one is special. No one's especially good. No one's especially bad. No one's especially holy. No one's especially unholy. No one's especially trustworthy. No one's especially untrustworthy. In the holy instant, no one's special. It's all oneself. When the post-it notes are gone, there's only one self as the truth of everyone. Pure present moment awareness with no past or future. That's the truth of everyone. Everything else was post-it notes. Private world. It's not here. The real world's here. Wholeness is here. The light that reflects heaven is already here. It's everything. It's this microphone, it's this conversation, it's this body. It's already here. But as long as there's post-it notes, you can't see it. You can't know it. You can't be it. Because you're interacting with an imaginary world in your mind made of post-it notes, thoughts. The real world is veiled from itself because you are the real world. You're in the house of mirrors, going, these will make a powerful contribution to the truth, these post-it notes, and make it what it is. I can trust these thoughts. They can tell me what I am, and I should believe what they tell me I am. And they can tell me what my brothers are, and I should believe that. And of course, I should believe these thoughts. They're my friend. But no. So that those post-it notes are veiling from you what you already are, which is what everyone is, because there's only one identity here. It's shared everywhere. It's already here. This is the holy instant. One capital S self is the truth of everyone. You need to go into the post-it notes, dress yourself in them, dress everyone else in them to believe something else is here. But there's only one self here everywhere. Once the post-it notes, once you've undone your fixation with the post-it notes, it's one self everywhere. So once I go, but they're just thoughts. So they don't mean anything. They can't tell me what I am. They can't tell me what the world is. They can't tell me what my brother is. They're just thoughts. They don't mean anything. While you're home. If if home is what you're seeing shining in everyone else, because the sharing is the reality of the identity that's shared. If it is the truth of what I am, it is already the truth of what everyone is now. Otherwise, I'm just spaced out calling it holy, separating myself from everyone else in my holy world, my holy spaced out world. That's not where everyone else is. No, it's outside of thoughts. It's outside of that mind. It's outside of concepts. It's the holy place where thoughts can enter not, which just means I don't know what anything's for. I don't know what I am. I don't know what my brother is. I'm awake. Here you go. Forms the broken pieces seem to take mean nothing. The whole is in each one. Every aspect is just the same as every other part. Well, that's what's here, unless you get involved with post-it notes and think they're true and think they help you. All they're doing, they are the architect of what the Course calls your private world, where you are a made-up self and everyone else is a self you've made up out of post-it notes. And it all carries on as though this is true, as though it's real. It's not. One self is the identity of everyone already, and that's love. It's already here. It part of the real world that's already here because it is everything, and everything is this. And so even the belief that you are a separate self made of post-it notes, surrounded by other people made of post-it notes, that is the real world. That's the wholeness that's already here. Heaven's already here. It's already now. As in the holy instant, I've got back to what the substance of what I am is, which is stillness. But stillness is a thought, right? This isn't the thought of stillness. This is the stillness where there's no word stillness. What is stillness where there's no word stillness? Where there's no words. Well, you're that. That's your essence. No thought can tell you what you are. This is the holy place. Thoughts can enter not. That's what you are. It's not just what you are, it's what everyone is. If it's not what everyone else is, you don't know what you are. Your identity is shared, and sharing is its reality. If what you are isn't what everyone else is, it's nonsense. It's post-it notes. You're back in the hall of mirrors. So when I come home to the essence of what I am, it's the essence of what everything and everyone is. It's the substanceless substance that's appearing as a world without ever ceasing to be itself. Well, that's what's already here. And the only thing veiling that is identification with the post-it notes. Not the post-it notes. They're part of what's already whole. Wholeness is appearing as the post-it notes. It's appearing as thoughts and feelings and stories and memories and bodies. It's appearing as all of that. You are the essence of what everything is. Everything. Thoughts, feelings, stories, memories, the body, the whole world, everything has what you are as its source. As what you are as this essence is the source of everything you perceive. But everything you perceive is not the source of what you are. Gold is the source of rings and bracelets and necklaces. They are an appearance of gold. Gold is their source. But rings and necklaces and bracelets are not the source of gold. Thoughts, feelings, stories, memories, all of those are made out of what you are, which is pure awareness, pure presence, pure present moment presence without past or future. That's what thoughts, feelings, stories, memories, that's what they're made out of. But you are not made out of thoughts, feelings, stories, memories. You are their source. They are not your source. That's what the forms, the broken pieces seem to take mean nothing. None of the appearances tell me anything about what's true. And yet, what is true is shining as the substance of everything that's here, because oneness is what's true. No separation. And it's already here. Only the post-it notes in front of everything make it seem different, but that's illusion. That's your private world, because the real world's already here. You might be living in a private world. That doesn't matter. The real world's already here. It's this. It's everything. It's done. It's wholeness already. Because everything is gold already. So to keep our metaphor going, gold is appearing as peace rallies and war. It's appearing as marriage and divorce. It's appearing as violence. It's appearing as peace talks. It's appearing as good thoughts and bad thoughts. It's appearing as good emotions and bad emotions. It's appearing as everything. One substance is everything. You are that substance. It is pure present moment awareness without a past or future. And it's appearing as thoughts of past and future. That's what you are. But it's not just what you are, it is the identity of everything you look at. All of this is happening in one consciousness. So you are the consciousness within which everything is happening, by which it's known, and out of which it's made. But everything you look at is the same, and everyone you look at is the same. There are no others. Everywhere you look is the consciousness that's you appearing as this. There's no separateness. It's one identity everywhere, which is obvious the minute the post-its drop. Thoughts. Okay, let's go back to our quote from the start of today. The emphasis of this course always remains the same. It is at this moment that complete salvation is offered you. And it is at this moment that you can accept it. This is your one remaining responsibility. Atonement might be equated with a total escape from the past. That means total escape from post-it notes, total escape from thoughts, total disidentification from the Hall of Mirrors. You don't have to abolish the Hall of Mirrors. Okay. You look at it and go, that's a Hall of Mirrors. So what? What does it have to do with me? Total escape from the past and a total lack of interest in the future. Heaven is here. This world, this real world that's already here is the reflection of heaven already. Heaven's here. There's nowhere else. Heaven is now. There is no other time. No teaching that does not lead to this is of concern to God's teachers. You know, one of the things you'll often hear course students say is, oh, I want to do the course. I want to get out of here. I want to get away from hell planet. This is an awful place to be. I want to be somewhere else in the next moment. See the trap? Atonement is a total lack of interest in any other moment than this one. So if you're here going, oh, this is a terrible world, it's an awful place to be, I want to be out of here, you're seeing your salvation in the future. You still think you're an ego. The ego is constantly seeking its salvation in the future because it's the rejection of where salvation is, which is now. Now or never, because there's only now. And it's here because there's nowhere else. There's no salvation when you go to a spirit world. There's no salvation when you get away from Psycho Planet. There's no salvation when you imagine that there's reincarnation and that you go somewhere else wholly apart from this and you don't have to come back here. Those are post-its. Those are thoughts. They're reflections. They don't mean anything. That's nonsense. No, salvation's here. Where else are you going? There's nowhere else. There's just this. No. So it turns out salvation is this moment, perfectly forgiven. That's salvation. When you're going, it will be better in the next moment, be better in the next life, be better in the spirit world, be better when I finish the workbook, be better when I do more forgiveness, be better when I do more meditation. No, that's the ego seeking to save itself in the future. But you don't need to be saved. You're already saved. It's already here. Salvation's done. Unless you dress yourself in post-it notes, think you're an ego, and go and in your pain go looking for a better moment than this one. There's none. It's now or never. You find salvation here, you find salvation now or nowhere or no time, because there's only here and now. So despite the ego's insistence, the post-it notes, or again, the person that it tells you that you are, despite the insistence of that illusion, salvation isn't changing anything. Course in Miracles says, seek not to change the world, seek to change your mind about it. You go, when the world is different, that will be salvation. No, you're dreaming. You're in the Hall of Mirrors. You're looking for your salvation in the future because you think you're an illusion. No, salvation's now. That's it. Here. This moment, allowed to be exactly what it is and unopposed. That's freedom. That's peace. That's the only happiness you'll ever know. So, the Holy Spirit says, no, listen, forgiveness, that's your salvation. Let's take another quote. Dig one out and see if I got it earlier. No, I thought I picked it out. Anyway, let me paraphrase. Um, the Holy Spirit says, how can the Son of God awaken from the dream made of post-it notes? It is a dream of judgment. So must he judge not, and he will awaken. What's required for the awakening is this moment permitted to be exactly what it is and no opposition to it. This moment, this one, salvation's here, heaven's here. It's this moment, unjudged. It's this moment with nothing pushed away. It's this moment where all experience is welcome. That's it. That's it. The minute this moment is completely unopposed, what you are separates itself out from seeming to be mixed with post-it notes, thoughts and concepts, slips out. Something is here. The minute opposition ends, the minute pushing and pulling on thoughts, oh, these are bad thoughts. I want to have better thoughts in the next moment. Need to like get rid of these and push them away from me and try and pull something else towards me. Oh, these are terrible, bad emotions. Sadness is here. I don't want that. Holy Spirit, take it off me, take it off me, take it off me. And then we go, hang on a minute, I'm insane. Horse says, what can frighten me when I allow all things to be exactly as they are? That's forgiveness. It's forgiveness. What can frighten me when I allow all things to be exactly as they are? In the introduction to part two of the workbook lesson, it says, forgiveness is still, and it quietly does nothing. It doesn't push bad thoughts away. Doesn't push bad feelings away. Doesn't go, Holy Spirit, take it off me, take it off me, take it off me. Forgiveness is still. It quietly does nothing with this moment. It merely looks and waits and judges not. This moment, allowed to be what it is, unopposed, is salvation, is forgiveness, is the awakening from the dream. And as the Course says, it's nothing more than the escape from concepts, the escape from post-it notes. Not even the escape from concepts. It's the escape from identification with concepts. Concepts aren't a problem. They're part of what's already whole. It's just appearing as concepts. When you dress yourself in them, when you believe them, when you think your thoughts are true, when you think they can tell you what you are and what everyone else is, you're living in your private world, you're in the matrix, living in a world that's not here, a world of self and other. Then you go, well, that's right. I don't know what anything is for. I don't know what I am. I don't know what my brother is. Because what we are as one cannot be limited by a thought, cannot be soiled by a concept. I can only be it. That's just an escape from post-it notes. That's all that is. You're awake. That's what the miracle is. The miracle is how you step outside the dream. You're awake outside the dream of past and future and good and bad and right and wrong and me and you. Okay? The miracle is how you step outside that dream, the nightmare of self and other made of post-it notes, and go, hang on, this is okay. This is already wholeness. We're the same self. There's only one self as everything and everyone. I just got myself mixed up with post-it notes again. All right. How do I get rid of the post-it notes? I go, hang on, these are trying to tell me what everything is, and I don't know what anything is for. There you go. That's your cancel on the computer keyboard. Whole page deleted. The truth is already here. It's unthinkable, it's unknowable, it's unspeakable, and it is what's appearing as everything and everyone. And everything and everyone is this, the holy place where thoughts can enter not. The holy place where thoughts can enter not is appearing as thoughts, because it is the source of thoughts, but thoughts are not the source of the holy place where thoughts can enter not. Gold is the source of bracelets and rings. Bracelets and rings are not the source of gold. The forms mean nothing. The whole is in each one. It doesn't matter if it's rings or bracelets or watches. One gold is the only truth of any of them. They're just appearances of gold. It doesn't matter if it's thoughts or feelings or emotions or stories or bodies. The forms mean nothing. They're just an appearance of the formlessness, the wholeness, the holy place where thoughts can enter not. The don't know mind, because it's not covered in post-it notes. And this don't know mind, uninformed by post-it notes, is the mind that's in everything and everyone. It's all one. It's already here. Done. Salvation. It's already unconditional love. So it turns out thoughts and feelings and stories and memories, they're not the problem. They're part of the wholeness that's already here. Because wholeness is shining as them all. Wholeness is shining as the belief that this is all nonsense and I really am a real boy, Pinocchio. Okay? Wholeness is shining as that belief. Wholeness is shining as the belief that I'm a separate self, surrounded by guilty others. There's just wholeness here. It's done. But it's appearing as everything. It is everything. Identity is shared. If it's not shared, it's not reality. It's just a spaced out place in your mind made of thoughts that you think is holy. That's nonsense. No. Only when you look at your brother and see the same holy place thoughts can enter not, that you are. That's the real deal. Only when you see your brother without past and future made of post-it notes. And no, that's what I am too. That's that's the freedom that's here. So this requires a complete rethinking on how you do forgiveness. This is not how everyone does forgiveness. Everyone does forgiveness like, oh, I'm having an ego attack. This shouldn't be happening. I'm a course student. This is very bad. I feel like I'm such a failure and I really should do my forgiveness practice, but I don't want it, which makes me feel guilty. And this is all terrible. And I'm never going to get this and I'm never going to understand it. And I don't want to do forgiveness, but I really should. Okay, that's called opposition. It's called this moment opposed. It's got nothing to do with forgiveness. Nothing. It's flypaper. It's flypaper. You're in the hall of mirrors. Okay, you haven't had the escape from concepts. The escape from identification with concepts hasn't happened. So you're still in hell. You're looking for your salvation in the next moment when the panic, when the ego attack goes away. You're like, then my next moment will be better. That's going to be my salvation. When this anxiety isn't here anymore, that's going to be salvation. Well, that's not a total lack of interest in the future. So you're still insane. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. In my defenselessness, I discover what is, what everything is, what everyone is. The world is worlding. Thoughts are thoughting. Feelings are feeling. Stories are storying. Heaven is all of that allowed to be what it is, unopposed. Problem is, when people try to do forgiveness, they're trying to push something away from them so they can have a better future moment without it. They want something in this moment gone. They want it attacked. They want the Holy Spirit to obliterate it and make it go away, and then they'll be happier in the next moment. This is the trap. You just get a drink of water here. That's the trap. That's your interest in the next moment, the one that doesn't exist. The imaginary moment that denies you where salvation is, which is this moment forgiven. So here's what forgiveness looks like. Hello, thoughts. You're just thoughts, and you're welcome here. You're just reflections. For a minute there, I thought I was thinking you and you were reality and you were telling me the truth and I could believe you and I could think truth. No, you're just thoughts. You're welcome. You can be here as long as you want. Hello, sadness. You're welcome. Thank you for coming up from my unconscious mind to be in this moment and healed by my allowing of you to be here. Heaven is this moment unopposed. You see, because we're so used to thinking all the post-it notes are me, the hall of mirrors is what I am, this is heard as saying there cannot be oppositional thoughts in the mind. That is not what I'm saying. The mind, what we call the mind, the house of mirrors, the room full of post-it notes, that can only oppose. That's all it does, is oppose. But that's not you. It's got nothing to do with you. You don't have to do anything with that hall of mirrors. There it is, opposing everything and saying how terrible everything is. So what? That's not you. You don't need to do anything with that except not oppose it. What can frighten me when I allow thoughts to be exactly what they are? Nothing. Because now they've lost all power over me. For a minute there, I was unconscious in them, thinking this is my identity and behold my thoughts. And then I go, hang on. These are just thoughts. They don't mean anything, but they're welcome to be here. Hello, thoughts. You're welcome here. The minute you've welcomed it, it loses all power over you. Hello, sadness. Thank you for being here in this moment. I allow you to be here unopposed, and I will not make up stories about you or put post-it notes on you. Hello, ego attack. Welcome. You're just a big storm of post-it notes. You're welcome to be here. Hello, fear. You're welcome too. You can be here as long as you want. I will not put post-it notes on you, and I will not oppose you. Nothing is opposed. Total defenselessness. No thought pushed away. No emotion pushed away. No judgment of anything. Not even the judgmental thoughts. Judgmental thoughts are judgmental thoughts. You go, oh, hello, judgmental thoughts. I won't be judging you being here. You're welcome. That's it. That's forgiveness. Hello, judgmental thoughts. You're welcome. You're just thoughts. You can be here as long as you want. I won't be mistaking you for my identity. I'll be here allowing and welcoming you to be here. Hello, anxiety. You can be here as long as you want. I won't put post-it notes on you, and I won't be pushing you away. You're welcome. It's forgiveness. What can frighten me when I allow all things to be exactly as they are? Nothing. When I allow all things to be exactly what they are, the holy place where thoughts can enter not is here in the middle of everything. In non opposition to anything, even the opposing thoughts, in non opposition to anything, something is here that cannot oppose, that cannot fixate, that cannot be dualistic, that nothing can be said about, that nothing can be spoken about. There is a peace here, but it's peace so deep that the word peace can't exist in it. No word can. Now, none of the objects that are allowed can stick to what's here. In non opposition to anything, that which cannot be defiled is here. It was here all along. It was hidden by the pushing and the pulling. It was hidden by the grasping and the grievances. It was hidden by this moment attacked, this moment unforgiven, this moment rejected in favor of a fantasy future moment. And the minute the fight stops, the minute I let all things be exactly as they are, the light that reflects heaven, that's already here, is known by itself. And it is the light that is everything and everyone. That's your holy instant. If you're going looking for peace in the next moment, if you're going looking for the holy instant in 5 minutes' time when you've done a bit of meditation, no, it's already here. You have to find the peace that's already here, not go looking for it in an imaginary future in 30 seconds' time when I've done a forgiveness formula. No, no, you find the peace that's already here. You get here by realizing you're already here. You awaken from the dream of time by total forgiveness of this moment exactly as it is. That's it. That's salvation. Only this. The only thing veiling from you that this moment is already perfect, whole, indivisible, unconditional love, the real world, the light that reflects heaven. The only thing veiling that from you is grievances with this moment. The thought that it should not be thus. This is not how it should be. It's not supposed to be like this. That shouldn't be happening to me, shouldn't be happening to other people. All things exactly as they are. All things work together for good. There are no exceptions except in the ego's judgment. No exceptions. This moment opposed is ego. This moment forgiven is the real world, the light that reflects heaven, that is everything and everyone is this light with me. This is it. The holy place where thoughts can enter, not here and everywhere. What is here everywhere? What is everywhere here? Appearing as a world of multiplicity and diversity, which has no meaning, but it's already gold. It's already the real world. Everything is already shining with oneness, with wholeness, with peace. I have to remember what I am. You will never remember what you are when there's opposition to anything. You can't, because what you are can't oppose. You can't judge. Course says, you've been asked not to judge. This is not to take a right off you. You cannot judge. You can only believe the ego's judgments, the house of mirrors, the post-it notes, all of which are wrong, all of which are false. You can't judge. It's not possible. You can look at the post-it notes and go, I thought that. No, you didn't. You can't judge because you are the holy place. But to get here, there has to be the miracle comes quietly into the mind that stops an instant and is still. This has nothing to do with silence in the world. This has nothing to do with silence in the Hall of Mirrors, in the post-it notes room. It's got nothing to do with silence there. It is the silence of non-opposition to anything. It is the silence of the end of pushing and pulling. No pushing and pulling on thoughts. No pushing and pulling on emotions. All things allowed to be exactly what they are. That's the mind that stops an instant and is still. That's already here. And that's everywhere. I love Eckhart Tolle when he's having his awakening moment. So he's suicidal and he's like, I can't live with myself anymore. The pain is unbearable. And then he goes, I can't live with myself. That's two selves. Which one am I? Which one can't live with whom? And the whole identity structure made of post-it notes starts to collapse. And he hears a voice in his head and it says, resist nothing. That's what A Course in Miracles says. That's forgiveness. Resist nothing and you're home. And that home is everywhere, in everyone. When I discover the holy place where thoughts can enter not, it's not a spaced out holy hidey hole in my mind where I'm holier than everyone else. There's no inner or outer anymore. What you are is what's everywhere, and what's everywhere is what you are. The substanceless substance, the gold, the stillness that is the source of everything, but does not have everything as its source. The whole that everything is an appearance of, but that the appearances have nothing to do with the whole. It's not a spaced out place in your mind. You look at your brother and he's what you are. Because there's no post-it notes. It was just post-it notes. Without post-it notes, your brother is the unknowable. If you look at your brother without thoughts in your mind about what he is, you can only know him as the unknowable. Great. That's the truth. If you think, what am I? And there's no thought to answer you, and you go, I don't know what I am, great. That's the truth. Because you can't know what you are with thoughts, and you can't know what your brother is with thoughts. And if you can't know what your brother is with thoughts, and you can't know what you are with thoughts, guess what? That unknowable self is the truth of both of you. One self. Appearing as appearances of two, but still one. That's vision. That's Christ's vision. That's salvation. It's already here. It's behind the post-it notes. It's already here, behind the post-it notes. How do I get rid of the post-it notes? I don't know what anything's for. I don't know what I am. I don't know what you are. Oh, but there's thoughts here, and there's feelings here, and there's good. Welcome thoughts. You're just thoughts. There's no identity in you. You can't tell me what I am, but you're welcome. Nothing is opposed. Hello, sadness. You're welcome. Hello, fear. You're welcome. Hello, anxiety. You can be here as long as you want. You are welcome. And the minute it's welcomed, something is here where there's no anxiety, in the middle of the anxiety. Wholeness is already here. Where else would it be? There's nowhere else. When else would it be? There's only now. It's discovered in forgiveness. Total non-opposition. Resist nothing. Wholeness is already here. The light that reflects heaven is already here. It's what you are. But it's not just what you are, it's what everyone else is already. The minute you think you're better than everyone else, you've done something special, it's fabulous, you need everyone to know, that's delusion. You're a holy ego. You're in a spaced out place in your mind, calling it salvation, calling it holiness, calling it heaven. It's not, it's thoughts. It's a thought world. No. So we kind of do a spiritual bypass here where we go, but hang on a minute, I can go straight to the wholeness that's here. Never mind about the thoughts and the feelings and the stories and I can kind of just once I welcome all of this, I can go straight to wholeness. Once the opposition stops, wholeness is already here. It was just veiled by opposition. Once there's allowing and welcoming and nothing is opposed, nothing is pushed away from me, not trying to fix anything so I can have a better moment. Well, once the pushing and pulling stops, wholeness is here. Kind of like a spiritual bypass because I'm kind of going, well, nothing has anything to do with the wholeness here. But when you do this right and you come home to what's here in the midst of non opposition to anything, no post it notes, now there's no more bypass. Thoughts are an appearance of the wholeness that's here, feelings are the appearance of the wholeness that's here, sadness is an appearance of the wholeness that's here, fear is an appearance of the wholeness that's here. One gold is the truth of all of it. Nothing is bypassed. There's no separation anywhere. The forms, the broken pieces seem to take me nothing. The whole is in each one. Everything's gold. Everything is the holy place. Right. Right. So we shall throw it open for some questions. So, Eli, I think you're first in the queue. So, my lovely assistant for today, Linda, will give you an invite to unmute yourself.
Okay. Hi, Eli.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, I'm just having somebody delivered coffee. Thanks, honey.
Who said
I
the present
I
moment
wanted
isn't perfect?
I wanted to start off by saying, Keith, I got to thank you so much for helping me know what I'm going to dress up as for Halloween. I think I'll be a post-it note. Okay, so
Yes,
so there's your laugh for the day. Anyway,
absolutely.
I wanted to. Okay, I'm going to do what you were just talking about and express something I've gone through, and I from everything you said, I can't feel that it was ego. So anyway, I'll just say it, and you can all judge how you will. Anyway, when I sit and I get in the quiet, I Eli disappears completely. I'm in a space, and I hate the word "I'm in" because I doesn't even cut it. But anyway, and there's absolutely nothing there, and yet Eli's not there, Keith isn't there, Linda, Sally, nobody's there, but everybody is there. And nothing is there, but everything is there. And it's just, I call it isness.
Yeah.
Everything just is. And I stay there. This has been happening to me quite a bit while I was traveling. And I stayed, that word doesn't cut it because it makes it sound like it's Eli and it's not. I'll stay there for minutes and it's it's a nothing, it's an isness, it's everything.
Yes. Yeah. Now,
There's
so that's
no thought,
yes.
and it's the Eli starts having a thought that brings me out of it.
There's
Soon
no
as I
no, but
listen,
you see, no one is having thoughts. That's
no,
a
I
house
know
of
that.
mirrors. Yeah. So
Yeah,
so it's just a thought that happens, but in that instant, you identify with it. You think, oh, look at the
yes,
thought I had.
yes,
No one's thinking the thoughts, you see. So
exactly.
so that this is not about you trying to stay in some spaced out place where there's no
No,
thoughts. Don't do that. This is
no,
about you. All you what you have to now start practicing is, oh, that's a thought. So that doesn't mean anything, lesson four. That's just a thought. So thought, you're welcome. See, a thought doesn't have any power to take you anywhere because you are the holy place. You can't be anything else. You see, there is no you that leaves the holy place and goes into thoughts and comes out of thoughts and comes back to the holy place. Those are all thoughts. They're all post-it notes. You are the holy place. That's what you are. You can just cover yourself in post-it notes and think you're something else, but you can't be that. You can't be a concept. You can't be a separate self. You can't be a self-concept because no concept can say what you are. So what you don't want to do is try and preserve this immaculate place where there's no thoughts and you're because what you're going to start doing is you're going to start pushing thoughts away. You're going to go, oh, a thought did it to me and I need to push them away. I need to keep them out. So that's opposition. So this is totally counterintuitive, this whole thing. It says when everything is welcome, nothing can touch you.
okay,
So
I will
instead,
use.
this is you come home to this holy place and it feels like home. And now thoughts are still going to be reflecting in the house of mirrors. But now what you're going to do is you'll catch when you lost your identity to one and thought it was you that was thinking it. And you'll go, oh, hang on. You're only a thought. You're welcome. Oh, if you try to push it away, it will come back stronger with 10 friends. It's like when you put water on a gremlin. Okay, if you push a thought away, it's like that gremlin's being put under the water. Pop, 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 pop. Okay, but the minute it's welcome, the thought pops. See, so this is not about trying to preserve a kind of a thought place in your mind, which is separate from the world, a safe sanctuary made of thoughts, and there's no thoughts allowed in. Don't know. This is you simply beginning to recognize that a thought is only a thought. So that's only a thought. It's welcome. You're welcome here. You can be here reflecting as much as you want because it's got nothing to do with my identity. And whatever emotion is here, you're welcome. Totally, if that emotion is completely unopposed, the holy place is here.
Okay.
It
I
was
find
always
what
here.
I just when um I recognize a thought, it's like words come up or something, but I could see that thought and I just flow back into it.
Back
Like,
into
I don't feel like I'm really say resisting it, get out of here. I just let it happen and I flow back into it and I recognize
it.
I'm Eli again. I could feel my feet hurting again, sort of
Yeah, but
thing.
you see, no, but you see, all you're saying is I went back into the post-it notes, covered myself in them,
Yes,
and go, I
yes.
am the
Okay.
post-it note woman again. But there's no post-it note woman again. There is no post-it
Okay,
note
yeah.
woman.
Okay.
There's only post-it notes.
Yeah. Okay.
When we have deepened this realization, the awakening this leads to, what it would mean, it wouldn't mean that you walk around talking about yourself in the third person. Oh, Keith did this happened to Keith, blah, blah. That's nonsense. That's an overcompensation by someone who's fooling themselves in their thought-made palace. Um, no, 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 no. So there would still be the use of words like I and me and mine. It just wouldn't refer to anyone. Yeah. Um, so what I would say is you have to just let thoughts be thoughts. That's the secret here. You go, oh, you're just a thought. You can't tell me anything about reality because you're just a thought. You're not reality. You're a reflection of reality. Thoughts are reflections of the real world. They're not the real world. They are reflections of the real world. So you go, oh, these are just reflections. They just happen all by themselves. Nobody sits there
Isn't
going,
that a thought in itself?
do you mean that thoughts that nobody's thinking thoughts?
Yeah, when if you are sitting there saying, "Oh, you're just a thought." Well, "Oh, you're just a thought," isn't that a thought?
It is. Now, this is where you have wrong-minded thoughts and right-minded thoughts. So, wrong-minded thoughts, there's a loss of identity to them. They are in service to a non-existent posted person, a separate self, one who stands apart from the real world, judging it, finding it wanting, looking for its salvation in a different moment. Um, so the thought that's problematic is is these me thoughts, these post-its that tell me what I am, tell me what my brother is. They're the problematic ones. So, um, so a wrong-minded thought will keep me unconscious. It'll pull me into unconsciousness. A right-minded thought will have me awaken back up again. So, oh, I'll never get this. Oh, other people are getting this. I'm never going to get this. I'm never going to stay out of thoughts. These are wrong-minded thoughts. And then a right-minded thought says, these are just thoughts. They don't mean
Okay.
anything. What they're saying isn't true for you. Now what's here? A holy place thoughts can't violate. So a wrong-minded thought is in service to unconsciousness. A right-minded thought undoes the unconsciousness. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense. Yes.
Yeah. So a right-minded thought is like a scalpel. It's a thorn to remove a thorn. Um, so it's a way of clearing away the mental debris. But it's not. the answer. It's pointing to the answer because the thought, well, these are just thoughts, so they don't mean anything. I'm not going to start clinging to this thought. Oh, thoughts don't mean anything. Thoughts don't mean anything. Thoughts don't mean anything. That's nonsense, right?
Yeah.
That's just a new post-it note. But that right-minded thoughts don't mean anything, leads me beyond the thought to the holy place thoughts can't violate. Even in the midst of thought, there is something here thoughts can't violate, and it's known only in non-opposition. Does that make sense?
It makes complete sense. Yes.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eli. So we shall move on to Vincent. If you would send Vincent an invite, please, lovely assistant. And we have, after that, we have Susan and Dana. So we'll draw a line under that, Linda. Go ahead, Vincent.
Hey, Keith. I'm back. I missed you last week. I was traveling. Okay. So at some point in your presentation, which was great as usual, I was thinking of all of those students in India who sit at the feet of gurus and have been doing that for years and have been meditating almost their whole lives, have been fasting, praying, sacrificing. And a part of me feels they don't have a right to dismiss their experience as an illusion because some of them say they've reached transcendent states of samadhi, okay, which I've never done. And I feel I don't have a right to dismiss that their experience as an illusion with all of the striving they've done.
Um, but this isn't dismissing that because if their experience was there is a space here inviolable by thoughts, and now I look out and it's the truth of everyone. Well, that's your samadhi experience. Lots of people are having this experience. That's great.
So they didn't need to do all those years of meditation and fasting and praying and sacrifice. They say that's necessary for some reason.
No, no, that's a path. That's one way. Um, our way is nothing is opposed. That's the A Course in Miracles. That's the other way. Course in Miracles says the other way is remaining quiet, even in the midst of the turmoil you may make. You can have wholeness in the middle of all the objects. And when you come home to it, it's shining as the object. So, forgiveness, Course in Miracles tells us, brings me everything I want. What I want is happiness. What I want is wholeness. What I want is to not feel separate and lacking and needing and wanting and striving. And forgiveness gives me that. Learning to remain quiet in the midst of the turmoil. That's the other way. How am I quiet in the midst of the turmoil? The turmoil is welcome. The turmoil isn't opposed. And I'm home to the quiet center. And this is the center that's everywhere. That's it.
So part of me feels, I know it's the ego that feels it can't be that easy. If they have to go through all that sacrifice and all of that
So,
surrender and all of
so,
that,
so Vincent,
yeah,
that's a thought.
yeah.
So if you go looking and go, is there a thought in my mind that it can't be that simple? Then there is. So that's there. Welcome, thought. Welcome, doubt, thought. Okay. Now go looking for the one who's thinking that thought and watch what happens. Another thought, the sneakiest one, the Halloween thought, because it's a Halloween costume. A Halloween thought jumps out and goes, me. It's the me that had that thought. Behold the me. Me is a two-letter word. Me is a thought. Now, so we go, okay. So there's a doubt thought there. I'll never get this. That's too simple. Is salvation can't be simple. Of course, a miracle says it is, but the ego says no, it can't. It's thoughts, the post-it notes go, no, it can't be that simple. Now, so there's a thought there, and you go, okay, right, that's a thought. Who's thinking that thought that the me thought is referencing? Tell me what you find.
Yeah, it's just a thought that it can't be that simple.
Well, that's another thought. Who's thinking that thought?
Oh,
Now, so who is the one that's thinking that thought that the me
mhm.
thought is referencing? Tell me what you find. Say what you see.
Is this self that looks at other people's experiences and
That's a thought. That's a thought. Who's thinking
I
that
can't
thought?
get around it.
Who no,
Yeah.
no, no. So you see, in your mind there are thoughts happening, right? But I want you to find who is the one that's thinking these thoughts that the
Mhm.
me thought is referencing. Me's only a concept. Who is the one that's thinking all these thoughts that the me thought is referencing? Tell me what you find when you go looking for that one.
Who is the one who is looking at the thought? Is that what you're asking? Who is referencing the thought? Is that what you're asking?
Who's thinking thoughts, including
Who's
that one?
thinking thoughts? Like you said, they arise, they come from,
So, but when you look for the one who's thinking them, what do you find? Tell me what you do find.
I guess there's nobody who's thinking them.
Okay. So there's nothing.
Mhm. It's this created self that's thinking it from the posted notes in
Well,
my
these are
life.
the okay, but who's thinking that? Is there a thinker of that? What do you find when you look for the thinker of that thought? Obviously, there's a thought going me, but who is the one that's thinking these thoughts that the me thought is referencing? What's there?
Who's the one thinking the thoughts? It's a separate self.
That's a thought. Who had that thought about a separate self?
Who has the thought of the separate self?
What's the source of these thoughts? Well, what's there?
I'm, maybe I'm not understanding what you're saying. Who is thinking the thoughts?
Yeah, go find the one that's thinking these thoughts. Now, a me thought will jump out. That's a thought. So who is the one that's thinking thoughts that the me thought referencing? Go find that one. Tell me what you find when you look for that one. What's there?
I can't find anyone.
Exactly. No one's thinking them. Me is a scam. Me is a lie. When you look for the thinker of the ego's thoughts, and you get past the me thought, which is the first line of defense, going me. You go to the thought. Not going to get fooled by that. Who's the one that's thinking these doubt thoughts that the me thought is referencing? Then you find only what you are, which the mind calls nothing. When you go looking, who is the one thinking? Who is the one suffering? And the me thought jumps out, and you got another thought. Who is this one that's suffering that the me thought is referencing? What do I find? I only find what I am. Peaceful, still, indivisible presence. When you go looking for the false self, all you find is the right minded self. There's no wrong minded self. There's just thoughts. No one's thinking them. They don't mean anything. They mean nothing at all. They're not true. They're not helpful to anyone. They don't belong to anyone. They're happening all by themselves and they mean nothing. It's just post it notes. And you go, well, who is the post it note man? You go looking and there's no one. But there is what you are. which is silent, still presence. What you always are. You just jumped into the post-it notes and thought you were thinking and that you had a good thought here. But you don't have thoughts. You're what's appearing as thoughts. You're what's appearing as everything. You're the light of the world. But you're not doing those thoughts. They're nothing to do with your identity. They are an appearance of what you are, but that appearance has nothing to do with the source of them. That's already here. I love this. I think this is extraordinary. All suffering arises on behalf of me. And you go and investigate who is the one who suffers, who is the innocent victim, and the mind throws out its big swizz, its big con, and goes, me. You go, okay, that's a thought. That's a two-letter word. Who is this me that's the innocent victim? And all you find is the emptiness, the stillness, the unknowable, the presence, which is the truth of what you are. So stay there. That's who you are. That's who you are. Are there any questions in that stillness there, Vincent? No,
No,
no. Is there anything wrong with it?
wrong. No, it's
Anything?
peaceful.
Yeah. Anything missing in it? Anything lacking?
Not there.
No. Anything to seek for in a fantasy future moment?
No.
And if that's what you are, all you have to do is realize that's what I am too. And that's your holy instant.
So I shouldn't even be thinking about what they're doing in their path for
Ooh.
samadhi.
Well, when you're talking about people in India in this moment, what is that? Has that anything to do with this moment?
No.
No, that's a thought. So that's not reality. Realities aren't real. Thoughts aren't reality. You see? So reality is this moment. It's the computer in front. It's this microphone. It's this conversation. Okay? It's the feel of the air on your skin. That's what's here. That's the real world. See? But when we start talking about, but what about the galaxies out there? That's not here. That's not here. This present moment, it's not appearing as that. So that's just a reflection. That's just a distraction. That's a thought. That's not what's here. That's not what is in this moment. It's a thought. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it sure does. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So it just means we've left the real world to go into our imaginary like room on the inside. We're connecting with images in the hall of mirrors. And that just means I'm not aware of the feel of the air on my skin. I'm not aware of the computer in front of me. I'm not aware of the microphone. I'm not aware of the conversation. I'm not aware of what this moment is actually appearing as. Yeah. Thanks, Vincent.
Thank you.
Susan Gradensky. Linda will send you an invite now to take yourself off mute.
Hey, Susan, you should have it.
Having trouble taking yourself off mute, Susan? Still on mute? So now maybe can you send the
I
invite
sent
again?
another one.
Yeah.
I sent another invite.
Okay, I'm unmuted now. Well, thank you.
You're sorted, Susan.
Okay. First of all, after the first series of talks that you had about thoughts. I had an experience where my thoughts started attacking me and telling me how bad I was and I'm doing this wrong and whatever. And I just sat there and I said, I'm not listening to you. I just said, this is not true. And I'm not listening to you. And it went away and it didn't come back. I was really happy. And I didn't feel bad about myself like I normally would or get caught up in it or anything like that, which was pretty amazing, I thought.
Yeah, very cool.
And then,
Um,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, just do make sure when you were practicing this that you don't judge the thoughts or oppose the thoughts, or that you're simply going, oh, your thought. So you don't mean anything, but you can be here if you want or not.
That's what I did.
Good. That's it.
Now, my other question is like, what does it exactly feel like when you're having an awakening? Like, is it a moment? Is it like, what is it exactly?
I don't want to turn this into a concept, and I don't want to turn it into something you strive for in an imaginary future, but it's like waking up. That's why it's called an awakening. It's like waking up and going, "Oh, there was no self. There was no self here separate from everything. There is only one self as everything." So that's what an awakening is.
Okay, I have moments where I go in and out of that.
Well, that's what it seems like. Um, because again, there's an assumption based in there that you can be something other than the light of the world, that you can be something other than the one light that's putting on the whole light show without ever ceasing to be one light. That light cannot not be the light and become one of the elements of the light show. That's not possible. But the light can veil its identity as the light from itself and identify as one of the elements in the show that's separate from all the other elements. But that's not true because the light can't be anything other than the light. Would you follow that?
Yeah, so what is that? What is that? What are you doing when you're doing that?
There is the mind, the one full of post-it notes, imagines, makes a story out of post-it notes of coming and going, and projects that onto the holy place where thoughts get entered not, and goes, there is someone here who keeps coming and going, but there's no one coming and going. There's just identification with post-it notes, and then realizing that what you are cannot be defiled by a post-it note. So all that's happening is you're identifying with thoughts and then you're letting go of the identification. But thoughts, you cannot actually miscreate yourself with thoughts. It just seems because you never stop being the light. You never stop being the wholeness. You never stop being what you are as God created you. But it gets veiled by the activity of identifying with the post-it notes. But it's only ever veiled. It's never gone. It's never that you've stopped being that and become something made of post-it notes, because there's nothing made of post-it notes. So it's only that you seem to go unconscious in identification with thoughts and then not know what you are as the place, the holy place where thoughts can enter not. So there is actually no coming and going. The mind imagines coming and going. It's made out of post-it notes, and it imagines a one that comes and goes. Because the truth is, when you come home to when it seems like you come home to the holy place where thoughts can enter not, the one who came home vanishes, and there's just the holy place. There's no
So
one in.
it's like a false sense of an awakening.
What would be a false sense of an awakening?
When you're seeing yourself coming and going.
Well, no, that can be the experience. I'm just pointing out that if we were to say that's how it is, it means you can change what you are as God created you, that you can come and go, but you can't. You can only imagine that you do. You never stop being the light that is appearing as the world, and the world is that light. You never stop being that. There is just identification, getting involved with post-it notes and thinking you're something that can come and go, but nothing's coming and going. The one coming and going is just made out of post-it notes. There's no one there. All right, Susan. So in this moment, if I go, well, is there an experience of coming and going? The answer is yes. Yes, there is. Okay. Now, I want you to go looking in your mind, who is the one that's coming and going? Now, watch what the mind does. It's going to throw out a thought there called me, M-E, two-letter word, and go, me. It's the me that's coming and going. So you're going to go, okay, that's a thought. Now, who is the one? There's an experience of coming and going. Who is the one that's coming and going that the me thought is referencing? So go looking for that one and tell me what you find.
The ego?
Well, that's a thought. Who thought that?
The ego?
Ego doesn't exist.
Then
So
nobody.
so okay, but tell me those are thoughts. I want you to go and look. Who is the one that's thinking those thoughts? What do you find?
Nothing.
And are you separate from that nothing?
Sometimes.
So we're not going into the imaginary world of time now, made by post-it notes. Um, there's only now. There's just this moment. So in this moment, if all thoughts stop, can the past or future exist?
No.
Okay, so sometimes is nonsense. No, I'm not criticizing what you said. I'm pointing out that for you to say sometimes doesn't make any sense because there's no time but this one.
Right. I understand what you're saying
Yeah.
now.
So in this moment, when you go looking, who is the one that's coming and going? And a thought goes me, and you got a thought. Who is this me? Who's the one that's coming and going? The one that's not the light of the world that this me is referencing. Who is that one? And you go looking, and all you find is open, empty, non-fixated, still presence.
Hmm.
Is there anything wrong with that presence?
No.
Has it ever been wounded?
No.
Can it be?
No.
Are there any thoughts going on in this presence? Now, there is thoughts going on in the mad mind, but is there any thoughts going on in this presence here?
No.
Is there any time here?
No.
No, because you need thoughts to manufacture the illusion of time. And is there any, can you find an outer edge or a limitation or boundary to this? Nothing.
No.
Yeah. And if you look at me without any thoughts, can I be a different nothing than you are?
No.
It's the identity we share. That's the identity that's outside of post-it notes, outside of thoughts that lie. Thoughts that can't tell you what you are, can't tell you what I am. The identity that's shared is real. We are the same nothing. I am is nothing. The minute I am which is nothing, therefore it is unlimited, inviolable, untouchable, boundless, limitless, that I am. The minute it veils the nothingness it is from itself and jumps into post-it notes to make a something made out of post-it notes, immediately this nothing thinking it is something, its suffering begins. Because now the post-it notes tell me that I'm lacking and needing and wanting. It says, I am this. Therefore, I am not that. That's limitation. That's lack. That's need. That's separation. That's self and other. It is experienced immediately as suffering. And now this imaginary self made of post-it notes sets about the sole activity of the imaginary separate self, seeking and resisting and grasping and grievances and special love and special hate, all in a desperate attempt to find my salvation in the next moment by something I oppose in this moment. So Nisargadatta Maharaj says it beautifully when he says, when I look inside and realize I'm nothing, that's wisdom. It's freedom, it's liberation, it's no limit, no boundary. I look inside and realize I'm nothing. And then I look outside. Here's the extension of the Holy Spirit. Here's the temple of the Holy Spirit. Here's the identity that's shared or it's not real. I look inside and realize I'm nothing. That's wisdom. Now I look outside and see that this nothing is everyone, and that's love.
Mm.
When I look within and see that I'm nothing, that's wisdom. And then when I look out and realize everything is this nothing that I am, that's love. That's the end of the tiny mad idea. That's the holy instant. I've stepped outside the dream. This is the substanceless substance, which is appearing as everything, which doesn't mean anything. And it's still this one substanceless substance, this pure presence that everyone already is. That's the holy instant. I'm awake outside the dream. But again, I look within and realize I'm nothing. That can very easily be a concept. That can be me making a picture in my mind of this vast nothing and I am here in the nothing. So that doesn't mean anything. That's delusion unless I look out and my brother is the nothing I am. We share our identity. We're not different. We're the same. Without post-it notes, we're the same self. And so is everyone and everything. And that is love. So does that make sense, Susan?
Yes.
Well done. Well done. Thanks for that, Susan. So Dana or Dana, I think it's Dana, you say in the States. I think we established that last week. Linda will send you an invite to unmute yourself.
Thank you, by the way.
Pleasure.
Okay, Dana, you should have.
Hi, thank you, Linda. Hi, Keith. How are you?
Hi, Dana.
I wrote my question on a Post-it note. So I feel that your last conversation you just had kind of really touched on a lot of what I wanted to ask today. But I still feel I would still kind of like to touch on it a little bit more. So you had talked earlier about maybe how people think they might awaken in the next life. And I feel like since I've started the course a couple of years ago, I feel that's pretty much been my MO. I'm doing this so I can escape hell planet. You pretty much touched on that. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
So that's the dream.
yeah.
That's dreaming.
Yeah.
And that's hell. Because hell is this moment opposed, and heaven is this moment allowed to be exactly what it is. And salvation is here already in this moment. It's not in another lifetime because there's only this moment. So does that make sense now after today?
Yes, mostly. So I guess
when you believe Well, no, not really. It means you've covered yourself in post-it notes that tell you who you are, which is not enough, lacking, needing, wanting. I'm never going to get this. It's going to take me lots of lifetimes because this is very hard. They're thoughts.
Okay.
That none of those are true. That's not reality. That's just reflections in the hall of mirrors. But you're jumping in there going, I have these thoughts that I'm inadequate. I have these thoughts that I can't do this. I have these thoughts that this is going to be hard. That's you're just covered in post-it notes. Take them off. What's here if all of those thoughts don't mean anything?
Yeah, there's nothing here.
And are you separate from that nothing?
I can say no, I don't 100% feel that, though. I guess that's something I would have to sit with a little bit longer if I'm being honest with myself.
It's a thought.
Okay.
Is that thought you, or are you the one that hears that thought?
I'm the one that hears that thought.
And the one that's hearing that thought, is it bound by thoughts?
No.
Does it need 10 more lifetimes to be more nothingier?
Uh, no.
Could this nothing that's here, unbound by post-it notes, is it possible this is it? What if it is? What if it's already here?
That would be great.
That's a
It is.
thought. That's a thought.
Yes, yes.
See, all you have to go is,
Thought
oh,
after thought after thought.
yes, you thought you were thinking that. You see, that's the trap. And then you go, hang on, that was just another thought. That doesn't mean anything either. You're welcome to be here, thought, because you don't say anything about what I am. But what is here? What's here that a thought can't touch? What's here that a thought can't say?
Well, thought can't touch you at all.
And this you, is it limited in any way?
No.
Is it lacking something it needs 50 lifetimes to make up for?
I want to say no, but then I know that's a thought too that says you're saying that, but you don't 100% believe it. That I am also
Yeah,
that's a thought.
yeah. You see, because you're reporting that to me and you're reporting it as you don't 100% believe that. But that's not what happened. The Hall of Mirrors, which has nothing to do with you, it's just happening all by itself. It said that. It didn't say you don't 100% believe that. It didn't say that. It said, I don't 100% believe that. And you went, I thought that.
Okay. Wow.
That's nothing to do with you. It's a thought. Let it be here.
Okay.
That's that. See, it's just a thought. Thank God. That was just a reflection in the Hall of Mirrors. That's got nothing to do with my reality. So, can I just welcome that thought being here in this moment? You're
Yes.
welcome.
Yeah.
You're just a reflection. I thought I lost my identity there for a minute, but no, I'm back in the cinema. You're just a thought. You don't mean anything. You can tell me nothing about what I am. So, um, what's here?
Nothing.
And are you separate from that nothing?
No.
And you find a one that's separate from the nothing. What do you find?
There is no one separate from the nothing.
Yeah, there's just thoughts, but they don't stick to the nothing.
Do you mind if I ask then? So this is another thing that's tripped me up is I
Mhm.
hear that if I'm really one and back in heaven, it's like I feel like I shouldn't be seeing bodies then. Like I look
Oh
around
my God.
and I feel that someday I'm not going to see bodies anymore, which means a future. Like this, I'm just telling you where I'm at right now. I feel there wasn't the
No,
tiny mad idea, and
no,
then the tiny
no.
mad idea happened, and someday there won't be the tiny mad idea. And I feel
Oh, would that be a future calendar event where we'll all be saved?
that's where I get tripped up. I
Or
know it's
would
not
that
true,
would
but
so is salvation it's not now. It's in this future moment where bodies disappear. Is that where salvation is?
Something is screaming yes, that I know
Yeah.
that's a
What,
thought.
what, and it's a thought. And you go, oh, welcome thought that's screaming yes. Welcome doubt thought. You're welcome. You're just a thought. For a moment, I thought you could tell me something about what reality is. Your thought. You're
Mm,
welcome.
okay.
What welcomes all thoughts?
Is it my true self? Or is that a thought?
It's a thought, but because you can only be what you are, you can't turn it into a thought.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's boundless, it's limitless, it's already here.
Okay.
And then a thought comes in, going, "But is it really that strong?" And then you think for a minute, "Oh, I had that thought. I don't know if it's strong enough for me." And then you go, "Hang on, you're a thought. You're only a thought. That's all you are. You're welcome. You can be here as long as you want. I'm not going to lose my identity to you like I nearly did there. You're a thought. You've nothing to do with what I am. Because what I am cannot be bound by a concept.
Thoughts, including the emotions that I'm feeling. Those are just not me.
There's no there's no identity in them. However, they're made out of what you are. They're made out of the nothing that is all something, because all something is the one nothing. So there's nothing that's not an appearance of what you are, but you share none of the limitations of any of the appearances. Gold can appear as a bracelet. The bracelet can get broken, but gold never stops being gold. So the bracelet is an appearance of gold, but the gold shares none of the limitations of the bracelet. Bracelets can get melted into nothing, all right? But it's still molten gold. Gold never stops being gold. So it can appear as bracelets and, melted bracelets and, new bracelets and broken bracelets, and it can appear as all of that. Um, so all of that is an appearance of gold, but and all of that has gold as its source. Gold is the only reality of all those temporal appearances. But none of those appearances have anything to do with the identity of gold. The
That
holy
helps.
place where thoughts can enter not in your mind. That is the source, that is the substance of thoughts, feelings, emotions, everything. But none of those things say anything about the holy place where thoughts can enter not. Does that make sense?
Yes, that helps a lot. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for that, Dana.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we'll bring it to close for another week. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you got something useful out of it this week. We will catch up in the Facebook group and we shall do it all again next week. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Thanks, everyone.